Today I'm going to show you a first grade lesson on drawing underwater creatures in the form of a porthole. My students are going to get started today with a 12 by 18 piece of white drawing paper. You can use an ice cream bucket lid or whatever kind of circle tracer you'd like for whatever size that works for your students. Here we have these circle tracers here. My students go around the lid or around the tracer and then move that out of the way. And then to make the porthole, we're going to go just a little bit bigger, about an inch or half an inch bigger. And we go around the outside of the circle so that we have a big inside of the circle to draw in. And now we're going to start adding these screws or the nuts and bolts that hold this and make it a part of the ship, the submarine. This is the underwater window that we're drawing here. So I'm just going to be placing these little circles all around the outside here of my porthole. Next, we would work on the ocean floor. So I'm going to start with some sand and I'm going to make a wavy line going down and it gets towards the middle. And then on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing, a wavy line and coming towards the middle. Right here in the middle, I'm going to make kind of a straight line, but it's going wavy across. And now we're going to start working on the creatures in the sand. We're going to start off with a sand dollar. So to create a sand dollar, start with a circle. And my students can put this sand dollar wherever they want on their ocean floor. Little line pointing up. A line to each side, and then a line that's almost making a little triangle. So that is what the sand dollar looks like. Next, they could try making a starfish. So a starfish, I would start off with the same straight line going up. Then I'm going to go ahead and make a line going straight across. And then from the bottom, I'm going to make an upside down V, 2 diagonal lines. Right around those lines, I'm going to trace around like this, just like I'm making a bubble letter. And then it will turn into a starfish. If I want to, I can add texture to that starfish, like bump, bump, bump all the way around. Or I can leave that starfish just the way it was. So we have two creatures now in the bottom of our ocean floor. I am also going to make a snail underneath my water. So over here I'm going to start with a spiral line. Gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I'm just going to touch it together. And then right underneath that spiral line, I'm going to draw just an oval shape, kind of like a little mini hot dog. And on top of that, I can draw 2 straight lines with little circles on the end for the snail's eyes. Next, we're going to be making a treasure box underneath our ocean. And if you don't want to make a treasure box, the kids can just watch. But if they do, they can choose a place to put it near the ocean floor. So I'm going to put mine kind of right here in the middle, and I'm going to have it right here, but it's going to be raised up just a little. So to get started, I'm going to make a little dot. Right above that dot, about a finger's space up, I'm going to make another little dot. And then on each side of my finger, I'm going to do the same thing. So now I have 4 dots on my paper. I'm going to connect those dots to make the top of the treasure box. This is the part of the treasure box that's going to go all the way down to the ocean floor. And these two sides aren't going to go quite as long. Now from this line, I'm going to attach it to the other line. And from the other line, I'm going to draw it back to that other leg there, the other line coming down. Now mine's looking more like a treasure box. So if I want to make it a little bit bigger, I could, but I think it will just be okay for today. So now I'm going to put the sides on, or the top on. So I'm going to draw a line right here and right here for the top of the treasure box. And then I'm going to connect those two lines. And then I'm going to make a backwards letter D inside the lid and a backwards letter D right on the outside of the lid. And now I can decorate the box. I could put a little hole on the outside for the key to go in. I could put a bunch of circles to make it look like coins. Maybe one of those is a necklace that's falling out. Maybe there's coins all over on the ocean floor. Maybe this is a pearl necklace that fell out. So I'm just connecting a bunch of little circles to make a little trail looking like treasure is spilling out of my box. Now, so that it doesn't look like my treasure chest is floating, I'm going to add just a couple more wavy lines in the sand to make it look like it's a part of the sand. So now it looks more like it's in the sand than that it's floating in the middle of the ocean. Now we still have plenty of work to do on the ocean floor, and we could add lots of things like sea anemones and coral and plants, but my students are requesting a shark. So we are going to do a step-by-step shark. So to get started with the shark, you're going to find wherever you want him to be swimming and start off with a big oval. That's how we start off with the shark's body. It's a big oval. Right outside of the oval, we're going to draw two straight lines and connect them almost like I'm making a little rectangle on the edge of that oval. Then behind the oval, I'm going to make two lines that almost make a triangle but do not touch at the end. The next step is to make the shark's mouth. So right inside here, you draw a little triangle. And then I'm going to erase right in between that triangle just a little line right here. So I also need to add the eye of the shark and some little lines for the nostrils and a zigzag line for the teeth. And I want to add some gill openings, so I'm going to put some curved lines right there for the gill openings. And then I'm going to finish up the tail, making two straight lines at a diagonal. And then I'm going to connect those with the letter C. A curved line like the letter C. And that kind of makes the shark's tail. So now what I need to add is some fins. So I can draw a diagonal line up and kind of a straight line down, curved just a little. And then a diagonal line over on this side. And that connects right here also to make a fin. So the next thing I would do is I would erase some of these lines that I don't need, like inside the shark, the head and the body are connected, and the tail and the body are connected. And I have a couple more fins to add. So I need to add this fin back here. pelvic fin, that one's called. And there's a little fin back here on the tail. Another fin over here on his tail. And then that's pretty good for my shark. And then I can just go ahead and kind of make the lines that I like for my shark a little bit darker that I want to keep. And then I'm done with my shark. Next, what we're going to do is draw a jellyfish. So just like with the box top here, I'm going to put a dot on one side of my finger and a dot on the other. And that's going to help me make a foreshortened circle or an oval. And then above that oval, I'm going to draw a big curved line. And from inside of the oval line, I'm going to draw curved line down, wavy line down, and back up. And I'm just going to draw a bunch of different wavy lines down, down, and connect. And then if this one goes in front, this one goes in front, this one goes behind. I can give my jellyfish a face if I want to. I don't have to. And then I can start adding things like, maybe I'm going to add some seaweed here. Maybe I want to add a scuba diver swimming off. So here's one of his flippers. And then I do a bumpy line. And there's a scuba diver. He's swimming away from the shark. He saw the shark and got scared. You can also add coral by making a circle and drawing that down. And then you can add lots of little circles in it to give it texture. Draw a circle, connect it, lots of little circles in it to give it texture. Okay, so that's how we could make some coral. You can also make other little fish swimming along. You could make a puffer fish by making a circle. I'm going to add some eyes to the puffer fish. And here I'm going to put on his fins. And now he's a puffer fish, so I'm just going to do zigzags all around him. And zigzags, triangle tops inside of his body to make him look like he is very spiky. So now you can go ahead and keep on adding whatever you want to. You might add like a fish hook coming down. You might add a boat swimming, going by. You could add more fish. You could add a bunch of tiny fish, like a school of fish swimming from the shark, whatever you want to. This is a first grade lesson on making a porthole.